Hi everybody, this is Patty and happy Monday. Today is Mindful Monday, and if you don't know what Mindful Monday is all about, welcome to Get Balanced 2020. And what it is just a series of videos to help you get your mind, spirit, and body back in balance for a good, healthy lifestyle. So we mix our mind, our thought process, our body is our nutrition and our fitness, and our spirit is how we believe and get us through all those hard times, along with a whole bunch of fun stories. But today is Mindful Monday, and I would like to get started. Now, most everybody does have a notebook. A notebook basically is just a journaling process, logging process, whatever you want to call it. Because once we start our weight training and our fitness and our nutrition, we want to log that from now until forward so that we can look back and see how much progress we made. So let's get started with today. Now, last week we talked about bad habits, turning them into good habits. We sort of touched that again, trying to get you to think of what those are. Then we also talked about negative nannies. So how many of you actually did your homework? So the homework was basically to take one day and see how many times you're giving yourself negative thoughts or negative put downs, negative input into your brain. And so you would do tick marks or just notice how many, and by the end of the day you would have seen how many you've sort of been telling yourself. So if you're telling yourself all those negative things, then you can't really move on a positive plane in as far as trying to get your life balanced. Now today we're going to sort of keep going on that a little bit, and with that what we're going to talk about is self-discipline. Now this is the trick. Self-discipline not only comes with your mind and your thought processes, what you believe in and your intuition and everything. So the mind and spirit this time is going to sort of morph together. So when we are thinking about those negative nannies and I tell you to replace it with a positive thought, a lot of us will fight that. We will fight that because we haven't done our internal homework. We haven't gone down to the core of what the issue is. And when I was bodybuilding, this is the part that I really found out that was the most key to losing weight. So if you're in it for losing weight or gaining weight or whatever, you're going to have to get deep down inside and figure out what it is that's holding you and not allowing you to change your thought process. It's keeping you stuck in that negative nanny mode or whatever you want to call it. But the thing is that if you get to the core of what it is, you can then address it, you can heal it or fix it or realize it and adjust it, and then basically work from there. So a lot of that comes from your spiritual beliefs, what you've been told, what you have been taught, and all those kind of things. And are they really real, and is it really resonate with you? And the mind process here, when we're talking about negative nannies, is that we want to be able to get away from that, and we have to consistently replace that. Now you can replace it all you want, but if you haven't done your inner child, inner self, or whatever you want to call it, getting to your soul heart of what is going on, then you may not get it completely to stay gone. So basically it'll keep repattering and resurfacing over and over again, if that makes any sense. So when I was training, a lot of the thought process would be, I'd get tired. Now this is a time where we're getting to the end of January and people are starting to think, oh, I don't want to do this workout anymore. I don't want to do this exercise. Forget the nutrition. I'm going back to my old ways. And that's when it starts to happen. Come February, everybody's, sort of, women will stay on it more until after Valentine's Day. You'll be really surprised. Then they'll give up. Why? Why give up when you work so hard? So basically what you're going to want to do is have more self-discipline. And that's what we're going to talk about today, self-discipline. So self-discipline comes from mind and spirit because they both work together. Self-discipline is saying no to the bad and yes to the good. And that comes with practice and time. But again, it comes with getting to the core of that issue. Yes, people, getting to the core. When I was training, I had to have so many overweight people, and it really wasn't about the weight. It's not about the weight. It's about what's in here and what's in here and what you believe and what you're telling yourself. So a lot of that is going to be self-discipline to be able to sit there and say, I am a good person. I need to find out why that little person inside of me, that child inside of me, will not allow me to grow up and be an adult. A lot of the times if you've been abused, and I know this firsthand, is if you've been abused, you get stuck in that little child mode and everything is not okay. But in actuality, in the real world, it is okay. So that's another topic for another time, because that's a huge aspect. If you've been physically abused, sexually abused, mentally abused, it's a whole different thing. And if you want me to talk about that at some time, I'd be happy to, because I've been through all three. So basically, so what we want to get to the core is for today is basically where to start. So we've been sort of working towards bad habits, getting rid of those new habits, negative nannies. Now we're into the negative nannies, and this is where the self-discipline is going to start coming in. So where you have to start promoting yourself, that you are a good person, you're a deserving person, you're a worthy person, you're a loving person. Even if you have to write notes to yourself and stick them all over mirrors or whatever when you get up in the morning and you are brushing your teeth, you know, and the best time to do that is when you're naked, because you are completely vulnerable. And for you to keep telling yourself you are beautiful, these don't matter. Nothing matters other than what's inside your heart. Self-discipline is going to be this week's homework. So discipline in the fact is you needed to be disciplined enough to learn to say no to those bad habits. And how is that? That's just through persistence, consistency, and keep doing it over and over and over again. Now they say, well, it takes 21 times or whatever times to change a good habit, a thought, or whatever. That's not really personal. I've got to be careful here. It's a personal thing, whether it takes a day, 2 days, a month, 3 months, you know. And if you're 30 years old and you've had 30 years of bad experiences or bad habits or bad thinking because that inner child has been abused, hurt, or whatever, then it's not going to happen just like that. It's going to take time. It's really going to take time. So be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. If you slide back and you do a bad habit, get back on that horse, turn around, and start all over again. Just like when we were bodybuilding, some days in my very beginning days, I wouldn't tell the trainer, and I would just maybe have something sweet and I wasn't supposed to, and then I would beat myself up to a pulp. And that's because my mindset was wrong. And it's like, no, okay, I screwed up, let's move on. So the whole mindset of changing your thought process is to be consistent, be persistent, and don't stop persevering. So if your bad habit is you eat too much sugar, okay, then I screwed up, I had a candy bar today. Oh well, it didn't kill you. So I mean, basically what you'll want to do is say, okay, I ate the candy bar, I messed up. Tomorrow I'm going to do better. Tomorrow I am going to give it 200% and make sure that I don't do that. So, and over time, when you do this over and over, because people ask me, how do you do it? How do you do it? You always persevere through everything. This is, I'm teaching you how I did it. Now, if it's something different for you, it's different for you. This is how I did it, and this is what I want to share with you, because as I did it consistently, as I told myself I'm a beautiful, loving, caring person, I don't care what anybody else out there says, this is my thought process, not your thought process. I am good and worthy. So when I start doing those things, when I started bodybuilding and I sat there and I would say, okay, I am not perfect, but I have lost 70 pounds to get on this stage. I am doing the best I can. I have slipped, I have slid, but I am back on track and I keep moving forward. So the idea is don't stop, be persistent, learn to say no to the bad habits, say yes to the good habits, and keep having that self-discipline. That's the homework for this week. And unfortunately, I'm out of time, but I hope that you will do that. Any questions, concerns, or comments, go ahead and go on my website, www.getbalance2020, or my YouTube, or you can email me or see me on Facebook as Get20 or Get Balance 2020. Love you guys, and keep it up. Ask questions. I'd love to hear from you.